What? We good? We on? Oh, we live. Okay, now we live. Here we go. What's going on, good people? Um, I'm your one of your co-hosts today, Dre. As you can see in the left-hand corner, it's Dre. That's my name. And I got my sister with me. Very profound, very in tune woman by the name of Empress Chrissy. She's with me, and we're gonna discuss um, divination, relationships, and we're gonna delve a little bit into um the masculine and the feminine energy, um and how they relate to the relationships that we are in. So yeah, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Welcome to Playing with Destiny, Tarot Relationships, and the Card Game. With me and Dre. We're gonna open up with a little bit of cardology. Today's karmic card, is the King of Clubs.
King of
The King
Clubs.
of Clubs is today's karmic card. That's the most powerful, intelligent card in the deck. That's the master teacher. Mental downloads. Um, this energy also very intellectual, very a master with words, but it also can have a smart mouth too, right?
Definitely. And the fact
Yeah,
that that's my personality card, that's
right,
hilarious because I definitely got a smart mouth.
right. In a good way though, in a good way.
Yeah, it's duality.
So that's our core karma for today.
So it's interesting that's it's interesting that that's the today's card, seeing is that we are,
Mhm.
implementing some information and some knowledge on relationships. So
See how it
yeah,
work out. Great.
man,
Hmm.
definitely worked out.
Worked out great.
So
Let's it's like when you're in relationships, you don't always feel comfortable, asking your mate certain things, or we get triggered or our experiences. So we're gonna use this show to represent the masculine and the feminine, and give a little bit of insight according to our experience, and according to our clients that we talk to, you know, when we do our practices and our services. So there is something that you would like to ask the a female or a feminine. What's that question?
definitely. So so okay. Um, Something that I see frequently on social media in social media spaces, um, and the social media spaces kind of bleed into like regular reality and conversation because we've become so intertwined with social media spaces. But I want to know, why do so many women mask their desire to learn about masculinity and men in general in the form of emotional manipulation? Like, what I mean is, there'll be a question asked, or there'll be a concept posed by women, and then they'll give options, or no, it's almost like multiple choice. Say if it's
Mhm.
three different choices or three different ways, or they, and they're from their perception, it's like a couple different ways that this particular concept can be. But every one of them is like the man is messed up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, uh, so for instance, I know I'm about to actually butcher this up a little bit because
Mhm.
I just recently saw this particular young lady pose a question about men and their she kind of framed it, their hesitation to be in tune emotionally. So she said something like, men, why do y'all at y'all big ages have an issue with being basically emotional, or basically being basically having emotional vulnerability. Like, and then she basically saying like, well, is it because y'all can't control the situation? Is it because you're scared of it? Stuff like that. So that's what I mean by, um, you know, basically giving us pre answers to it
Mm-hmm.
versus hearing out what the actual answer would be. And the fact that it's like a blanket statement. So I hate that we make these blanket statements,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody has their own perspective. Everybody comes from different places where they understand things differently. I mean, it could be emotions, it could be relationships, it could be masculinity, it could be femininity, it could be anything. But we tend to make these blanket statements, and then the the answers or the education that we can get from talking to each other gets lost in people just trying to be right, or
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. So I would, I just want to know why uh you know women do that.
Mm-hmm. The way I'm feeling about it is they asking and then they giving you multiple choices because we all see things through our point of view, through our
Absolutely.
perspective, and how
Absolutely.
we've experienced things. So say if you had 6 relationships and all 6 were the same energy, right? So you have that's gonna be like your fixed perception of
Right.
relationships. So if you go and ask guy number 7, you basically already have an answer in your mind.
Right.
So I think one thing is that we don't we don't reset. I've eh, guilty of that too. Different things. I've already figured out. Okay, either it's this, or this, or I don't even ask because I already figured it out anyway. But
Right.
really, that's a low vibrational approach
Mm-hmm.
because we should give the individual opportunity to speak of who they are. And I've learned that you have to reset and allow people to show you who they are. But when women do that, that mean they be manipulative and they are going based upon their experience. It, by the way, you really cut yourself short because if I ask you something, I ain't gonna help you out. I'll give you no ABCD answers. I want to know
Right.
your mind. I want to know your intellect. I want to know how you think. I want to know, that's what I want to know. So if I ask you something, it's because I want you to talk. I
Right.
want to know what you're gonna say. So
Yeah, no,
that's my
that's a good answer.
yeah, that's
That's a
my
good
perspective
answer.
on it. Hmm.
uh I think that, I mean, and I think that um we should all listen to understand versus to reply. You know what I mean? A lot of times and I mean, this is a people thing, not even just a women thing, but we'll ask questions, and then the first hint of something you hear that the other person says that you don't like or you disagree with or something, it's like you are attacking their perspective versus listening to why they may even have that perspective. You know what I mean? So I feel like you said, you cutting yourself off by, you know, trying to box people into certain answers or certain, perspectives, because you're not even going to get, first of all, you're not going to get the organic answer that they're trying to, that they may even have, that may even link you to an understanding. And also you're going to make them combative, because it's like, oh, okay, this is a combat situation. So you're never really going to get the the information that you're even looking for. So a lot of those, and I just, and like, I don't know, I'm not for sure of her intentions for real, because like I said, it was a quick clip I saw. I didn't really
Yeah.
get the chance to see a lot more, but I feel like, those are like, it's almost like to box you in, or to, it could have been for her, just for her content and clicks. It could have been that she was really trying to, figure out this particular answer to this question. But I just felt like, and I feel like when I see this, because it wasn't just her, it happens a lot. Like, I see people make posts, like, men ain't shit, or,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying, men this, men that. and all these blanket statements, but you know, the main thing people don't acknowledge is that it's coming from your perspective, which is your experience. So what about you attracts these type of experiences? You know what I mean? And that's another
Right.
conversation for another day. But
That's the key,
that
though.
it is the key. That is, in my
Mhm.
opinion, that's the key. So
It's the
yeah, I
key.
just you know, but that's a
So this,
I definitely understand with your answer to that though. My bad, I didn't mean to cut you off.
because there's, I mean, that's that's the biggest thing about relationships. Uh, we think that we attract what we want. You attract who you are. Just
Absolutely.
period. It's like I started dating with it when I was 17. So from age 17 to about 2, 3 years ago, I had the same type of man.
Hmm.
Different clothes, different color, different height, but it was the same man. Was it them?
Hmm.
No, it was me.
Right.
It
Energy.
wasn't
Energy
them.
attracts energy.
Energy, I was attracting the same man, different forms of the same thing. And
Hmm.
that's what made me wake up. It's like I'm the common thing of every all these people. It can't
Hmm.
be them. You know what I'm saying? It
Right.
has to be me.
Right.
So that's a hard thing for people to swallow because we want to blame somebody. But the simplest thing is you attract who you are, not what you want.
Right.
And it's not no physical thing, it's energy.
Yep.
It's the unseen. You know,
Yep.
uh, I may be this or that, yeah, physically, but how are you feeling on the inside? That's
Right.
that radar that's going out
Right.
to bring in things to you, and
Yep.
that's a big thing. And a lot of women they emotional manipulative because I've seen that. I think a lot of women we built that persona for protection.
Mm.
Because a lot of men, you know, they're not emotionally available, so you won't get hurt and get played over. We've developed this, because I've done it before. I
Hmm.
like a guy, but I ain't. I'm gonna play hard or whatever. Let me see what your course is. Before I show my hand, let me see what you working with. But I
Hey.
learned that if I love you, man, that's just what it is. I can't help
Right.
it. You know what I'm
Right. Right.
saying?
Right.
I can't help it, and you shouldn't try to help it.
Right.
It's either way it go. It's a gamble because
Hmm.
he can fool you into falling in love with him, or you can not be fooled and fall in love. It's the same result. It's just a
Right.
chance we take, and it's worth it at the end. It's worth. It's an experience.
It is. The funny thing about it, though, like you said, as far as how women build that up for protection, that's the same reason, and that's the same reason why men are emotionally unavailable. It seems to women because it's the same thing. It's like we be vulnerable, and I've seen this, and I can't even say I've had it happen to me, but I can't. It ain't never happened like in a situation where it was like super devastating, but we have situations where you be vulnerable emotionally, and then it's weaponized against you, like it's used against you. You know what I mean? So as a man, you're supposed the standard or the perception of men is such that we can't be overly emotional. You know what I mean? Overly sensitive. So we might feel like in certain spaces, certain things make us overly emotional. So to avoid having that weaponized against us, we're not gonna, make ourselves available in that way. So it's a give and take. And again, that goes to energy because the energy of women is to pull back and to be safe. So that reflects on the men to be like, well, I'm gonna pull back and be safe too. Like I'm not gonna show if you ain't gonna show your hand, like you said, I ain't showing my hand. You know what I mean?
Right, right, right.
But
But now I can see your hand regardless. I just
right.
put the quote out.
Right. That part, like
Yeah,
that's the good thing is about being in tune with the cards is knowing what you kind of dealing with or knowing the energy you dealing with beforehand.
absolutely.
So that's definitely a cheat
Big
code
help.
that I utilize as well.
Big help. They kind of like leads to the portion that I had, and it's like as a woman, as a feminine, uh, how can we promote healthy partnerships, healthy connections with the men in our community? Like, give me
Um,
like practical things that we can do.
it's gonna sound cliche because it's always, spoken of, but the biggest thing is vulnerability and accountability. You know what I mean? Like, um, don't wrap up your issues. A lot of, well, I can't say a lot of, I can't speak for all women, but I've seen points in time when women wrap up their issues and things that they have and make it like it's a fault, or I only do this because you do this. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like being accountable to the energy that you project, and being vulnerable, being vulnerable enough to say, man, I made a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Or, I didn't see that. I didn't see that from that perspective like that. I see how you see that like that. Or, just being honest. So 'cause a lot of times, like you said, when we realize that we make a mistake, or we realize that it's on us, it's hard to own up to it. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to seem like you the bad guy. You think your intentions weren't to be bad or anything like that, but and not even bad. Just it wasn't in alignment. Your intentions aren't to be in alignment, or are outside of alignment. But you find out that through all your goodwill and through all your effort, it still is. So at that point in time, just being able to take a step back and be like, you know what, I see how you can see that. I didn't even see that from that perspective. I apologize. So how can we move forward? You know what I mean? Things like that. Like, and instead of trying to uh, one up, or be like, well, you do that, or what am I trying to say? Like I said earlier, like, well, since you do that, I do that, or well, basically making it seem like they just build up a wall. I think it's more
Mm,
productive to lay all our cards out on the table together, especially if it's a relationship you feel like it's worth being in. Get completely naked with that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, get completely vulnerable, get completely honest, and allow them to be completely honest with you, so that y'all can move forward in honesty and in truth versus in perception. I mean, not perception, and assumption. Because
mm-hmm.
we assume a lot in relationships. We assume that we know what our partner is thinking. We assume that we know
Yep.
that our partner is going to do a certain thing, versus coming to them and being completely vulnerable, and allowing them to be vulnerable with you, so that we can move in truth. uh I think that's the biggest thing.
So you saying that women are not really vulnerable?
They're vulnerable in ways, but they're it's situational. I believe that women,
Mm,
I'm not saying that they lack vulnerability altogether, but if I'm telling you something about yourself that you might not agree with, or you might not see, what I'm saying, in that situation you may become combative or defensive versus becoming vulnerable and accountable. So I feel like in those situations, like I said, if especially if it's a situation where you feel like, this person is worth it, you see a future with them, you see them, you see the good in them, and you see how y'all can work, and you need to just get completely vulnerable, just get naked with that person, like, you know what I'm saying, and
okay.
allow them to be that same way with you. But no, I mean, women are more vulnerable. They are emotionally vulnerable as far as like explaining their needs. I think
Mm-hmm.
women are more emotionally vulnerable in explaining their needs than men are. But it comes to those situations of being challenged, or when you have a perspective that they may not agree with, or they don't see, what I'm saying, versus getting defensive. As much as defensive as you want to be, I think you should go the other way and be vulnerable.
So you just said basically just being raw,
Yeah,
just
just being raw.
basically
Yeah,
come as you are.
right.
As the church say, come as you are.
Yeah.
No representatives,
Right.
you
No
know,
mask. Take all the
no
mask
man.
off. Take all that shit off. And be
Man,
and be
that's hey, yeah. Uh,
because
we
like we all wear masks, but if we gonna actually move forward with in a relationship space, it has to be. I mean, the only even with yourself, like if you're doing self work, a lot of times
Mhm.
we'll be hiding behind masks and we'll be feeling like we're one way, then you realize that you're actually not. And it takes it only you only change when you become completely vulnerable and open to change and accountable to how
True.
you've been missing missing the mark. So it can only work that way if it worked that way for you. It has to work that way for you and somebody else. So because individually you have to make that decision so that collectively you can move in that way. So that's what I
I
feel.
agree. I agree. That's the best. That's the best way to be. But I remember when we had the other podcast on the panel,
Hmm.
we kept talking about uh this, the self. The more
Hmm.
that you are accepting of yourself, and so it kind of go back to that. The
Definitely.
you know what I learned was the more honest I was with myself, even when it was like, you was wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? I got to
Hmm.
admit it, and
Right.
it helped me grow.
Right.
And I found myself going back and people apologies because I grew, did shadow work, and realized, okay, I showed up in that situation. That wasn't cool. Now, most time the other person didn't know what to say, didn't know how to accept it because guess what? We was a mirror for each other,
Right.
and but I did the work, and you
Right.
probably haven't did yours yet.
Right. Right.
So you look at
Right.
me like I'm crazy, but really I'm growing and I'm healing, and I really want you to do the same thing. But it's it's a self choice. You have to make that choice on your own.
Absolutely.
But the more you do so, you will be able to show up in that raw, authentic, vulnerable, cry, laugh, you know,
Right.
everything.
Hmm.
Nothing is off uh, the table.
Right.
But I think that, like you said earlier, people use that as a weapon.
Hmm.
But guess what? That means you're not with the right person.
True that. True that.
You're not with the right person. Because when you meet that person, and the more you grow, when you meet that person, they're going to be at the same level you are.
Right.
So, so the key would be the more you grow and heal, the more you pulling in healing from other people.
Hmm.
That's what I've learned, and that's what
Right.
motivated me to keep going,
Hmm.
keep doing the work. It was hard letting people go that you really care
Right.
about. But I'm
Super
like
hard.
super
Super
duper
hard.
hard. That
Hmm.
is the hardest thing to do because it's not that you don't love them. It's not that you don't care about them. It's that when you start choosing yourself, the energy won't stick. You can't tolerate.
Right. Right.
You can't
Yeah.
tolerate it.
Definitely. Definitely been through that. And you know, it's a really big conflict because it's like you want to on one hand maintain this situation that you have and you want to you know because you really be loving the person, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
but you know in my case I really had lost myself and all my frustrations was coming from me losing myself, losing the connection with myself, and you know that's on me, you know what I mean, so I got to figure that out. And you know if it take for you to have to let people go, like I said, it's super hard, but it's not going to be. You'll be better doing that than staying in a situation where you know that you're conflicted or you feel restricted in some kind of way.
That's right. That's right.
Hmm. That's crazy
Now
how this is it's
it
kind of
lined up with the pool, right?
yeah,
Yep.
the segue into the so
Yeah.
I did a spread uh, just for the masculine energy of today of for us for the show. and the spread was speaking to healing after burnout, um, healing after burnout from like family quarrels or like relationships ending, um, accepting change, like not overstaying your welcome, and fulfillment in relationships. So that's basically everything we was just talking about.
Hmm. Right on point. And then the feminine energy that I received um, before was release and clear and cut a soul tie, uh, a past love, but someone wants a second chance. This past, I got 6 of cups when I was pulling earlier. So smart from the past want a second chance, even if it's just friendship.
Mm-hmm.
But the feminine energy in the connection actually walked away. They cut off the connection.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I kept hearing this song in my head. Only you can make me happy by Surface. It's kind of an older song.
Yeah, that's cut.
Yeah,
Only you can
yep. I
make
kept hearing
me
that play
happy.
over and
Yeah.
over. So
Uh-huh.
it's like that person that you cut off is realizing that only you make them happy, but it was a spiritual lesson,
Mm-hmm.
right? It was a spiritual lesson, but you did release that person.
Right.
So I'm gonna pull some love messages
Okay.
from the love
Okay.
message deck to see what we get. What is the divine feminine energy as it relates to this message that we received?
And then once you do that, I'll pull one off mine to clarify.
Look, bottom of the deck,
Vulnerability.
vulnerability.
Yeah.
That's
It's
cool.
important. It's important. Like we don't understand how important it is to be vulnerable. First of all, to be vulnerable with yourself.
Past
Past
life
life, like.
love.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes back around to what I was speaking about earlier. Your
Mm-hmm.
soul remembers this intense connection. So the divine feminine has cut off a significant relationship, but in doing so, a powerful lesson was gained. Um, the other person on the other side of this relationship has to do the same. There could be a second chance through friendship, possibly, but that person has to do their work. The bottom of the deck is marriage,
Mm-hmm.
because there's other people that the feminine has opportunities to be with.
Mm-hmm.
There's other people, uh, and abundance, and like I just said a minute ago, spiritual lesson.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this could go 2 ways. If the masculine part of this relationship connection can do the work on themselves, they could be and gain the spiritual lesson.
Mm-hmm.
There could be a reunion of a sacred union. May not be marriage, it could be a sacred union. Uh, but you know, bottom of the deck is forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
So something has to happen with the connection. You have to look at it, uh, and it's like take note. Talk to the if you can talk to the feminine and ask for help. I mean, how did you go about your healing process? What did you do? How do I get started? Where I begin? Can I read a book? Can I watch a video? You know, bottom of the deck, you got to trust. You gotta trust in your higher power, if that's God or your ancestors, whatever you believe in. But there was a connection that the divine feminine walked away from, but the masculine wants a second chance. But you gotta do the work. You have to awaken to who you are.
Nah, that's pretty deep. It's pretty profound message
Mhm.
right there.
Yep.
Sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm. They do. And I remember getting a message a while ago, and it was like, the two in the connection, one is going to awaken first and move a little bit faster than the other one.
Hmm.
But your job may be to help the other person awaken only if they desire it and they are sick and they ask you for the help. Because my awakening came from my person. Treat me, having the triggering of the emotional disturbance, that made me awaken. So I'm on my path doing great because of this person. So
Hmm.
why would I want to help them too? But you got to want to do it on your own.
Right.
So that's what we got for the feminine energy.
Yeah, that's pretty deep.
Hmm.
Definitely. Um, yeah. Uh, just from my personal experience, I know that the biggest lesson that I had to learn in my last relationship experience was boundaries. And I'm such a giver that sometimes I overgive, and sometimes it's to my detriment. And then once I overgive, then the expectation is that I overgive all the time. So it's like, you know, once you get kind of once you realize the imbalance of it and you try to pull back, it's really difficult. You know what I mean? So I know that's one of the things that I've had to balance out with myself is to be more for me. You know what I mean? Instead of always feeling like I can save somebody or be there. I mean, I'm gonna be anybody I'm with. You know what I'm saying? Any woman I'm with, I'm gonna be her peace. But at the same
Hmm.
time, it's like it has to be balanced where we are each other's peace versus you know one person just being the peace for the whole situation. You know what I mean? So yeah. Now boundaries was definitely something that I had to learn. I'm still learning for real. Even and that goes back as far as my relationship with my mother. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah,
that's where that's where
that's
it
a whole
starts.
show.
Yeah, it is a whole
That's
shit.
a whole show right there, for
That's a
real.
whole show. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, so that's that.
yeah, that's most important, man. I didn't realize how important that was until really when I got a little older, and when you start getting older, dating gets different. This shit gets. And I'm like, it's connected to the mother, very
Mm-hmm.
connected.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think his name E.T. motivational speaker. I think his name Eric Thomas,
Eric
something like that.
Thomas.
He
Mm-hmm.
got a very good speech about that. Uh, Very powerful speech about the mother relationship with the son. Is very. I mean, that's gonna tell you a lot about your relationship with your woman.
Mm-hmm.
It
For
really is.
sure. For sure. Because I
And the
always,
same for the father and the daughter.
yeah, it's yeah, they both play hand in hand.
It's
Because
hand
it's
in
that,
hand.
it's that it's the first person, it's the first connection that you have with the other sex. You know what I mean? So it
Right.
sets the tone. It sets the tone for your whole experience.
Right.
And so, and since I was expected to, give to my mom, I just felt like that's just how I was supposed to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
But once you take a step back and once you look at how out of balance things are, like especially in the relationships that you be in, like you have those moments where it be like, damn, like I don't even understand why this is going like this. But then when you take a chance to step back and realize that it's a pattern, you created a pattern, you know what I mean? And the pattern starts from as early as, like we said, with your parents. And
Hmm.
from there, you can kind of work your way back from there. But it's a lot of work though. I mean, it's a lot of work.
Yeah. Because by the time you start dating, the wound has already occurred.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so the relationships just basically just tap on that wound, just keep hitting on it. Because it
Hmm.
was already there. It's
Right,
nothing new.
right.
The pain you feel is nothing new. It's
Hmm.
from your and the parent. Some didn't do it on purpose,
Right.
you know.
Because they haven't, they just never figured out their wounds, and they
Right,
pass their
right, right.
wounds on to you. It's a process. That's what they talk about with generational curses or
That's right.
courses. As my friend likes to say, generational courses, because you're going on the same course that
Right.
your parents went on. So yeah, it's deep,
True.
and it gets so deep, and
Yeah.
a lot of times we don't even understand that we need that type of intervention of changing. Like, we just be thinking like we live in regular life and it's just how stuff go. But you caught up in a lot of stuff that was passed down to you, you know what I mean? And once you
Right.
realize that, like I said, it's you can begin to, kind of uncluster that fuck.
Right.
you know. But
Knowing
yeah,
is half of it
right, it
because
is.
what I learned was when I first had a spiritual awakening, and I said I didn't know I didn't know.
Hmm.
So that's man, I thought I knew. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I thought I learned the proper things. I thought I was taught the proper things. Not I'm saying thing negative about what I was taught. I'm just saying like the church, they don't teach you everything. Now is church bad? No, I feel like everything in your reality is for you to learn from.
right,
That includes church.
right,
But it's like they don't tell you a lot. They don't
right.
tell you everything. And it's like you need more tools in your toolbox. When I found astrology and codology and numerology, all that stuff, man, the lights just turned on. Like, oh, I can see. You know,
Same,
it's like
same.
I can see now. I understand more about me,
Hmm.
my relationships, with this and why I feel like this. And that's why it's great to get invest in astrology reading or codology reading because it will really, really help you.
Yeah, it's more like it's almost like being able to go to the table of contents in the book. You know what I mean,
Mhm.
and pick out where you need to go to
Right,
figure out where to begin or where you want to journey to. You might not start at the first chapter. You might start at the sixth chapter, but the fact that you can go to the sixth chapter and find what you need to start your process, and that's big.
right. It's a cheat code.
It is. It
Cause
definitely
I pull
is.
up and I be looking at next year. What's going on for me next?
Right.
I mean, it's
I've
amazing.
been I've been doing that a lot lately since we
Mm,
do have our sessions. I've been
yeah,
definitely doing that a lot. Looking up everybody I know.
looking at it, being nosy, looking.
Hmm.
It's like I was telling you about your six of diamonds, about the karmic debt
Hmm.
that's your hidden power. And I'm looking at my chart and I'm like, look, my hidden power is in the six of diamond spot. I should be doing the same thing too. So I
Right.
started doing it.
Right.
Yeah,
Damn.
I started
Yeah,
doing
no,
it
it's
too.
deep. It's deep. So I was looking at one of my friends. I know this kind of off topic. It ain't really off topic, but I was looking at one of my friends, her spread her hand for this year, and
Hmm.
she had three sixes in her hand. She had like the six of spade, I believe the six of I don't know. I don't know. I'll tell you exactly which person we get off of here. But
Mm.
she had three sixes in her hand, and just all the stuff that's been going on with her.
Karmic year.
I was like, damn. I was like, this why. I just told her a couple days ago, like, this why
Mhm.
everything been going how it's been going. You got three sixes
Right.
in your hand this year.
She got to get balance. It's
Mm,
bringing in the balance.
for
She would
sure.
definitely get balance with all
For
that.
sure. For sure. Now
Mhm.
she's definitely. I think she's found it. From what the conversations we had, she's found it. But definitely that balance. Yeah, because I was like, man, you got. Because I was like, hold on, sixes are karmic, and you got three of them. So yeah, it's
Mhm.
a lot of karma to work through.
A lot of common to work through. A lot of
Hmm.
but it's coming to to give her the balance.
Oh yeah, and not. But I'm
Mhm.
gonna show you. I'm gonna show you her hand when we get off of here.
Mhm.
But I like I told her, I was like, this is almost like the storm, but it's about to be sunny as hell for real. Like based on the rest of her hand.
Absolutely. That's
Hmm.
that's what you do. You look at you can tell the temperature of your life
Hmm.
depending upon what's coming to your reality, coming to your view. That
Hmm.
tells you a lot about where you are and what's coming for you. And
Hmm.
sometimes it's not good, but it's good because okay, the pitch got to swing this way, so it got to get better. So
Right. Hmm.
learn how to ride that wave, learn how to ride it
Right.
out,
Yeah.
learn how to ride it out. You will be the same no matter what's going on.
Right.
You learn the flow of life. So you got your services that are on your website. I mean,
Um,
on
I
your
usually
page.
post them. I gotta do a better job of promoting that. I usually go on my Facebook page. It's Shango
Yeah.
Rising on Facebook, and I'll advertise like all the different services I provide on there. But I have to do a better job of being more visible. Um, so I'm open to suggestions.
Yeah, you're gonna get there. You're gonna get there. But for now, how can we get a reading from now with you?
Oh,
Just go to your page.
you can definitely message me on Messenger, Shango Rising, ChangoRising, or you can also my name is DeAndre Washington. I have a Facebook page under that name too. So if you can't remember Shango Rising, then you can remember DeAndre Washington. You can hit me up there too. Um, I do general readings, general tarot card readings for 25 just for like general questions or like if you want insight into a specific question. I also do compatibility readings. That's like my most popular reading,
Right.
and they are $88. Um, I can basically give you insight into who you're dealing with and how your traits mix with their traits, and if you're compatible to be in a relationship or a situationship, or if y'all friends with benefits. Like I can kind of look into all of that and tell y'all like, nah, don't do that because they just trying to smash or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, Shango Rising, ChangoRising, or DeAndre Washington. Um, yeah, so that's how you can reach me.
Okay, I am going to show mine because I'm actually going to be having a web virtual grand opening on my website. So
Okay, then I like that. That
yeah,
look good.
I want to show that. So on the 19th, I'll be having a website virtual grand opening. And that day, so this is a Thursday and a Friday. So those 2 days I'll be doing 22% off of the entire website. I have ebooks, workbooks, journals, codology readings, astrology reports. And I also have uh, a couple of physical items. I have my mantra deck. You can get the mantra, do mantras, and I also have this very powerful soap. that I make that I'll be selling too. So if you guys want to support, I will appreciate going to the website. That is www.empresschrissy.com to get your oh yeah, the ebooks is a power. I have an inner child, interactive workbook, and a self
Okay.
love interactive workbook, and a heartbreak interactive workbook. And all these workbooks came from me doing my shadow work. So as I was doing my work throughout the last few years, I journaled everything. So I went back and took that information and developed interactive books for you to work in. And also, if you get an ebook from me, I'll be having a open coaching call once a month that you could come to. Because I feel like if you working in your book, you might have some other things you want to talk about or interact with, and that will be free if you get a ebook or workbook from the
That's
website.
dope.
Instant
That's dope.
download.
I think I'm gonna get all those workbooks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they worth it, man. They worth it. It's I'm a teacher by heart. I went to school to be a teacher in college. And so I really want to see people grow and heal because I did it, and it's beneficial. Is it easy? No. But if you have support, somebody who already did it, it can show you a few, tips and tricks
Right,
and
right.
help you out. You will not regret it. You will not regret looking at uh, your shadow side. We're gonna get you hooked up too.
Oh
Get you
yeah, now you already know I'm gonna have some questions like how you do that. Like I need to
yeah,
do
yeah.
that and do
We gonna
that.
get you this our first show. Um and so we gonna be coming back weekly on Mondays to discuss relationships, uh do some tarot readings for the energy of the feminine and the masculine, and just chat it up. And
Yep.
hopefully we can get some people. I don't know if anybody is in here
I can't see. I was just looking to see if anybody
that
had
wanna
came in to get a
that
one
wants a
card reading.
free reading. I think I see one person. It looked like I'm not for sure even how to read it, but I can put the link in the chat. If you
Okay.
want a free reading, we'll
This
hook
is
you
okay.
up.
Yeah, I'm about to put the link in there too.
You gonna put it in there. They put it
Oh,
in there.
actually, it should be. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Let me see. If you want a free reading, you just hit the link. It'll bring you into the call. Um, and we would give you an on-air free reading.
Right, I got my cards. I got my
Yeah,
deck on deck.
just hit the link. Let me stop sharing. Yeah,
Yeah, I couldn't tell. I went to my. It says I'm live on Facebook and YouTube, so you know.
I can't tell how to read it either, cause I have never did a live. My first time doing a live.
Right, right, right. Yeah, we working the
Um,
kinks out. We working the kinks out.
and next week I'm a try to boost it so we can,
Get more people.
do like a little ad or whatever. 'Cause I really want people to get this free, you
Right.
know, free
It's,
opportunity to ask a,
to
ask a question to get a free reading.
get some insight for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm linked to my Facebook and my YouTube, but I don't see anybody in here, or I don't know if they can link from there to the actual to our live stream, but I don't see anybody.
Hmm. Well, Yeah, we'll promote it the next time so we can try to get some more people to come so we can do some free feedback.
Right, right, right. Y'all, y'all, and y'all don't even know this is this some y'all getting some good stuff, and it's for the free.
Right, right. Yeah, we'll be here next week. I'm a. I didn't really even tell. I didn't really even tell anybody either. I was going live. I just put it. I shared yours, and then I think they
Mm-hmm.
put it on my Facebook. I think yesterday we put it on Facebook, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really give anybody like, hey, come to the live. You want to get a
Right,
a free reading? I do that
right.
next week.
Oh yeah, nah. We like you said, we gonna be back. We gonna have plenty of opportunity to give people
Mhm.
readings and stuff. So this was a good start to to our a good foundation for what we doing. So
Mhm.
that's what's up. And I'll probably be a little bit less congested next week. All
So we'll end right here
right.
and thank those that did watch live. And if you watch the replay, we do appreciate it. I am on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as Empress Chrissy. And my website is empresschrissy.com.
Again, I'm on Facebook under Shango Rising, ChangoRising. I'm on YouTube under Real Life Expression. And I'm also my other Facebook page, DeAndre Washington, DeAndre Washington, like the state. So
All right, family. Thank you. Peace
peace,
out.
peace, y'all. Have a good one.